Good morning and welcome back to Take a Leap podcast. This is your host, Juliana Flores. Thank you. For those who are new, welcome to my podcast where we leap into different topics and get people's opinions and comments. And for those who have been here since the beginning, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I hope y'all enjoys today's topic. Which I would personally say is in my top 5 things of topics that I will ever talk about because it's just, I love it. Well, with that being said, today's topic is about a very popular show called The Office that first caught the hearts of all the UK before it made its big debut here in the very great United States of America. It was the year 2005 when the show first aired, and even now in 2019 to today, November. It's one of the most watched shows with its memorable characters and its unique comedy. And that leads into our next thing. Our guest today will be a young man named Jair Villar, who is a very close friend of mine, and well, I guess you could say we almost share the same love for The Office because I love it with everything. It's just something I can watch in the background, just I'm doing something, and it's just a great thing, a great show to watch, you know? Anywho, today we'll be hitting topics of why he enjoys watching the show and why other people should watch the show and his favorite scenes of the show and such, and little clips and things that he can remember. And now we will go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our special guest. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to As Promised. Our guest, Jair Villar.
Hey, pleasure being here.
Alrighty, let's leap into this segment.
Mm-hmm.
First off, thank you for joining me today and bringing your knowledge of The Office along with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this episode is really to answer people's question of should I or should I not watch The Office?
Sweet.
And just people who want to listen to another person's opinion on The Office and see if they agree or disagree, you know?
Nice.
Okay, let's get going.
Alright.
The first question I'm going to ask you is, tell me why you chose to leap into this show.
Well, I decided to watch The Office because it looked like a funny show, and the show's really interesting. It has a lot of characters that have different personalities, and when you combine all those personalities together, they just make a great comedy. And other than comedy, there's romance and action, and it's just a great show altogether.
I agree with you, since I too have watched The Office many times actually. Mm-hmm. And that leads into our next question. How many times have you watched The Office?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I am going for my second time, and I'm midway going through the show again.
Wow. I want to say I watched it a good almost 4 times, but I always restart it after season 7 or 8, you know, after Michael leaves. It's just different. It's not the same. Different. Okay, well, here's our next question. Why should people watch this show?
I think people should watch this show because it's a very unique show compared to the moderate New World shows that they play now. It has a unique sense of humor. I feel like their jokes from The Office is just like a different type of humor where if they were to play it in now society, people would just get either mad or have different opinions, but it's an old show and it shows how the world has been changing, and comedy back then was just funnier.
I think it's
my opinion.
Much better than
yes.
With Michael always
yes.
I guess basically harassing the
yes and Michael's inappropriate jokes, and it's just funny show to watch.
Not everybody should watch this because
yes,
but
that's true.
It's a good show. Okay, well, our next question is, what seasons are your favorite?
My favorite seasons have to be, like you said, the first 5 through 7 when Michael Scott's the regional manager of Dunder Mifflin. And I like those episodes because he's a different boss, and I wouldn't say he's a strict boss, but he's a funny boss, and when it's time for him to go to work, he'll do it, and he could be a great friend, and he'll always be there for people. And yeah, those are my favorite seasons.
Actually, following up with what you said about how he's a great friend and everything, one of the episodes, I believe it's where it's Pam's art show.
Yes.
And she asked, like, all of her coworkers to come and see.
And no one went.
No one went, except for Michael.
Michael,
and
yeah.
Michael actually bought one of her pieces and put it up in the office because it was a painting of, like, the outside of the office. And
yes.
Pam was crying. And it was super funny because Michael was giving her a hug, and she asked, "Do you have something in your pants?"
Oh, yes.
And it was I think, like a Baby Ruth.
Yes.
Or it was something.
It's a chocolate.
It was a chocolate. A chunky. It was a chunky.
That's a chunky. There you go. It just made it sound so inappropriate at the time, but
yeah, but
once
like
he pulled it out,
coming from Michael, it was just like a turn. You were just like, oh.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay. Here's our next one. Which is your least favorite, or like at what part do you think it just kind of?
Oh yeah,
the
no.
same?
I would say from whenever Michael left and the season's on, I don't know, it just really shows a great difference. Like other people would try to become manager, and don't get me wrong, the show's still pretty funny, but it just didn't top that Michael Scott when he was there. Andy did a good job, but you know, like I said, it's really not that funny compared to how it was.
Yeah, then he leaves for 3 months.
Yes, and man comes back, and it's a good show.
Yeah, I agree. I love when Creed is.
Oh yes,
manager.
yes. Once Creed becomes manager, you just have to know Creed to understand him. He's just a hilarious guy.
I love the episode where he comes out trying to talk to. Well, the first one is he forgets to call a meeting, and he's just calling out names of people who aren't even there anymore. And the second part is where he goes out and has like a board up, and he writes business.
Yes.
Or he writes Bobody.
Bobody. There
Bobody.
you go. Yes.
And then he asks, okay, what's a good one for B? And Kevin says business, and he completely misspells it.
Yes, it was like BUZINE.
Business or something. It was so funny. It's just Creed is something else.
Yes.
And he gets his Porsche, and it's his new manager.
All new manager with the new plates, and he throws his keys to no one. He thought it was valet parking. It's just hilarious.
Keep it running. Oh my god, yes. Wow. Okay. Well, this leads into our next question. Who are your favorite characters?
Oh, yes. Man, it's funny. Speaking of him, I would say my top 3 has to be Creed. Creed is my first. Like, I love his sense of humor. Like, he's just the old guy that has, like, a weird memory. Second, I would say Michael Scott. His sense of humor as well. He's very different. His jokes are hilarious. And the way he's inappropriate all the time, it just fits in with this unique saying. That's what she says. It's just funny. And my third has to be Kevin. Kevin, because he might not be the smartest in the office, but he surely makes the crowd happy. Like he's such a funny guy, and yeah, like I love all those 3 guys. Those are my top 3 for sure.
Okay, well, what about your least favorite?
Ooh, my least favorite? That's a hard one. I don't know. I guess like really that people that I would say Toby. Toby wasn't really like Michael said, he's really the lemon head in the room. No one really liked him, and he would always try to take the fun out of things and not let Michael run how he wanted. So I'd say Toby is one of my least favorites. I would also say I don't know, it's a hard one. You got me here.
What about what's that guy's name? The one who defaced Pam's mural? I forget his name.
I would say Roy. Roy's also another one of my least favorite. He's just like I don't know, the way he treated Pam in the first few seasons, and with this on and off again relationship, it just really changed my mind about him. And yeah, he I don't know, he wasn't really in my good side.
I'm going in for the punch at Jim's face.
Oh yes, yes, that was a really good show. Episode.
Okay, what characters that left the show do you miss the most?
Oh, I have to say Michael.
Of course.
It was just a shocker. Like it's like you kind of expect it, but you kind of don't, because man, like he's left before, but he always comes back, and he along the seasons his goal was to find love, and that's something that he always struggled with, and
Jan.
With Jan and just women that were working adult what you call it
It was she worked at like a main event type
main
of thing.
event for adults, and with a real estate woman.
Oh, yeah, Carol.
He tried with so many women, and finding the love of his life at the end, and her having to leave. She wanted him to come with her, and it was just sad once he left.
I like how actually the first time he meets her, they're in a relationship.
Yes,
but
yes,
they don't. As he's leaving to go move her things because she's going back going to Nashua, they break up during the drive because of long distance, and it's great to see her come back. And like it wasn't like expected because she had a boyfriend and everything.
Yes.
But having her come back and everything, and then finally getting together, like it's sad to see Michael go, but at the same time, it was nice to see that he got his happy ending.
Yes.
Yeah, and being the oh my god, that reminds me of that one where they're at the skating rink, and he's like, yeah, I wanted to do pro hockey, but he didn't want to leave his wife and family. It's a lot of wait time.
Yes.
He's like, and my goal is to one day have a wife and kids.
Yeah.
But it just finally the pieces finally fit together for him, and it's great to see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite romance.
Oh yes, there was a lot of romances in there, but I just have to say, Jim and Pam, the most basic romance, but just seeing them from the beginning where they're just friends, and Pam is dating Roy, and like engaged as well, and like you could tell that Jim's trying to get at her, but he doesn't really go for it till later on, and things go wrong, and just the way that romance was written is really great, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It really touches. It's sad. But they work it out, like, you know, in every fairy tale romance, they come out together, and it was just great.
I agree. Okay, next one. Off the top of your head, what are some of the best moments that you can think of right now? Like your top 3 moments that you love from The Office that you can almost recite.
I think we already talked about one, and it has to be with Creed when he becomes manager for like 3 or 4 days, and him pulling up with his brand new Porsche and just being like trying to be like a badass boss, and him throwing the keys to a person that's not even there and telling him to keep it running. That's just really, I would replay that over and over again.
A mood.
Yes, and another part would be whenever Dwight starts a fake fire and he starts telling everyone to not panic, and everyone starts panicking, of course, because all the doors are locked, and it was such a disaster. And it's funny just seeing everyone's reactions. Like Kevin went straight for the vending machine and busted open the vending machine. Like there was no reason to do that. And Angela trying to save her cat, and Oscar is in the air ducts. Yeah, and man, it's just one of the best parts. And
who threw a chair out the window? I think it was
Michael threw I think it was a printer out the window, and he started yelling help. Yeah, it was so funny. God. Like everyone was just out of control. And my last favorite part has to be I had to say whenever Michael Scott had organized a game to distract the coworkers because they were unsure if their company was going down and they were gonna get fired. So let's say Creed has not had I don't know, he's like a weirdo, and like you think he's always committing murder and stuff, and
sketchy
he just
dude.
walks. Yeah, he's a sketchy dude, and seeing him walk in and
it was
very
Halloween,
late.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, actually they were just playing the game.
Oh right.
Yeah, and he tells Michael that he got there late, and I think the game Michael was playing was how to do something with murder, and
solving the mystery. They're all characters.
Yes, they're all different characters, and of course Creed pulls up late, and he didn't understand what was going on. Michael tells him there has been a murder, and he's a suspect, and the way Creed just reacts, and he gets so scared, he tells Michael that he's gonna settle in, and he just starts running outside, and next thing you know, he's running towards his car and just gets on his car and leaves, and it's just so funny.
I love that the camera like zooms into him.
Oh
running,
yes,
and
yes.
He just like
and the way he just peels out is like so fast in this old car.
Oh,
it's the best.
Oh yeah, I can agree. There's just so many parts and like little bits that are just like so great, and just they stick with you. But sadly, that's all the time we have. Well, thank you again, Jade, for
No
leaping into this episode with me and our
Yes.
listeners. We really
I enjoyed
appreciate it.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you so much. Until next time, Leapers, make sure you check out our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Take a Leap. That's TAKEAL3AP. Thank you again, and have a good day. We'll leap in next time. Bye-bye.